Good morning, lovely. What are you doing this morning? Huh? How you doing this morning? Oh, goodness. Well, hello, friends. My Cock Squad crew. How y'all doing today? Oh, we got some big decisions we need to make around here. And get you guys input and see what y'all think too. What's up, y'all? We've had some pretty steady, crazy winds here the last few days, and today is no exception. Hello, 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 my feather friends. Y'all come on and get a little snack this morning. Hey, Opal. I just noticed this. So you got the Sheriff Nugget right over here, and you can see his barrels are right there. And we just ran out of corn in that one feed barrel. And look where that feed barrel is at now. It's over here. So, oh gosh, I don't know how far that is, but that is a long ways. Put it this way, these pastures are about 75, 80 foot wide. So that's 1, 2, that's 3 of them, plus whatever distance it is from there to there. It blew that barrel. Wow. Crazy. I need to go check my tarp too to see what it's like. I do have another issue to report. Moody's scratching post hasn't stopped him from flipping the picnic table over, and it looks like he may have broke it this time. Moody. It's not good. So I got to tell you guys something real quick. So the other day, well, Joe's not in Moody's pasture no more. Y'all guys know we separated Big Joe because he's just having some hormonal issues right now. And so we decided, well, we'll put this big trough we bought for Moody in there because we just had Joe was getting inside this thing. Moody couldn't eat. He was stealing Moody's food. So we ended up taking this out of the pasture. So we put this in Moody's pasture, y'all, thinking, oh, this is gonna be great. We can feed Moody in this trough now. Everything's gonna be lovely. As soon as we got it in there, he took his head and he just started flipping this thing. I thought he was gonna tear it up before I could get in there and get it out. So I ended up having to get it out, and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to use this thing with Moo Man unless I anchor it down. I'm just gonna have to anchor it down. I guess that's all it is to it. Maybe once we move Mildred in with Moody, this is probably gonna be the way to go, and I'll just have to anchor this thing down so he don't decide that he just needs to flip it all about. I don't know, but I just wanted to tell you guys that we did try to put this big old trough in there, which is for big livestock, and Moody said, give me my bucket, which we're fixing to do. Moo Man. Matter of fact, I had to dent it back out, but look where he just pushed that thing all about, y'all. Moody, I was just telling him about what you did with the trough. Oh. Y'all look at here. If you missed my live stream the other day, look, we put some new salt blocks in the pastures, and everybody got one. Joe, Mildred and the girls, and Moody and Top. But it's a cobalt one, it's blue. And y'all look at Moody's nose. Moo Man, look, don't be embarrassed about your blue nose. Don't be, there it is. Moody. Moody, you turning into Papa Smurf. Yeah. I know some of y'all have asked me, why don't I use one of those corner feeders or something I hang up? We used to have a hanging feeder down yonder that I fed Moody out of, and he tore it up. I have recently purchased, and I need to drill some holes in it. We may do that today. But I recently purchased one of those tire feeders. Y'all seen those? You take a tire, and this feeder's made, well, you take a tire and set it down, and this feeder's made to sit inside that tire. And I'm hoping that may work. If not, I just continue with the buckets, but Just trying to figure out something better for you, buddy. You know, I had a big black bowl, but that ain't work either. So far, it's just been the buckets, Moo Man. Right. Here you go, sir. Yeah, we are in the early stages, and I think we announced it on a live stream, but we are in the early stages of planning out our future barn. Like I got Toppy's little own corral in here. There you go, little man. That way Moody can't get in there and try to eat his feed. Jojo! What's up, man? What's going on, buddy? Look out now, I gotta get to your bowl, silly. Don't mess with my camera. Look here. There you go. And you can see we got Jojo's mineral block over here, and Joe's water looks good. I can see it from here. His water's good. So, and his hay's okay for now. All right, Joe, you have a wonderful day. I got this one little spot right here. Let's see if we can put something on that. I bet I can find a rock. Put that right there. That should hold that. Those guys right there. We should be good. That water, once that water gets on it, it really helps out a lot keeping that tarp down. All right, so I do want to mention that I kind of halfway made a mistake on the tarp situation, and that is I didn't tell you guys exactly where I've gotten my tarps. I've just done so many videos about tarping, you know, since I've been making videos for nearly 7 years now, that I know it just slipped my mind, to be honest with you. And then I've mentioned it so many times before, but those tarps came from Hoss Tools. They're stylish tarps. But you don't have to get those. But if you want those, I'll put a link down below and you can get those from Hoss Tools. Or, listen, you guys know me. I've said this a gazillion times over the years. Listen, no judging, no nothing. You always do what you can do, right? So always do what's best for you. Those stylish tarps can get pricey. Some of them can get pricey. As long as it's a dark colored piece of something, it could be a piece of plywood, it could be a cheap blue tarp, depending on how big your garden is. As long as you can cover that ground up, you know, do what you can. You can buy 6 mil plastic from your hardware store or a big box store. You know, just do the best you can. That's what I always preach. Do the best you can. So let's talk about something that we need to do. We've been talking about it for a while. It looks like it's in motion, and get you guys' input and opinion on what we're wanting to do here. All right, so as most of you guys know, we've been discussing a future barn or building a barn since we moved here, but we had to get our house built first. So now it's time to start thinking about and laying out this barn, and I'm gonna get your guys' opinion on some things. I got the flagging, fixing to go outside and try to lay this thing out and battle this wind. All right, so we're gonna take the truck, got our measuring tape and everything out, and go see about this future barn for us and the animals. Now, our original plan was to put the barn on this side over here, but after thinking about it, we're like, look, we have like 3 times the space, if not more, on this side of the farm, on our east side. And so we're fixing right over here and look, because the only thing over there really is the bees.
That's right.
And that's the smallest animal on the farm.
And it's just wide open other than that.
Wide open. And we do have some wooded area. If we wanted to run the goats in the woods, we could do that as well.
So why utilize just a partial part of the property,
right,
when we've got the biggest part on the other side?
Exactly.
And plus, it'll it'll spread things out to where we're using everything.
Yep. Utilizing the entire property.
Now, MaryCarl's pigeons will stay on where they are.
Right.
But let's go. Let's go see what we can come
Let's
up with.
start laying this thing out. What this means is Brent the builder's coming back. We have already contacted Brent. He is got us in the books. So the good news is Brent and his crew are coming to erect the barn. Bad news is that it probably won't be till February because he's that backed up. And this was something we didn't want to rush into either. We wanted to get the house done and us in it and pretty much everything halfway squared away before we started on the barn. And I plan on doing this where we can, pasture rotate.
Right.
We can separate if we need to. Have an area, I'm thinking kind of behind the barn maybe, where if Dr. D comes, we can have an area to separate individual animals for whatever reasons. We got all kind of plans for the barn. We want milking room.
That's right.
Because we've been wanting to milk our goats forever.
And I cannot milk the goats out in the elements.
Can you imagine doing it today?
No.
The milk will be blowing everywhere.
Well, I mean, a goat has to be milked.
Yeah.
Rain, shine, sleet, or snow.
Exactly.
And a goat that is a creature that doesn't like water,
Right.
so you're not going to be able to stand out and comfortably milk a goat in the rain when they're not creatures of...
And, according to our dear friend Laura at Simply Making It, who makes goat milk soap and has been a goat farmer for years and years and years and years and years, they like to do it at the same time. So if you do it in the morning time, then you want to do it in the morning time. If you wait, then, it kind of messes their clock up.
It needs to be at the same time generally every day. And in order to do that, you have to have a routine. So weather pending is not possible.
Also want stalls for the goats so we can have kidding stalls. They can get inside and out of the elements. So the barn is a big, big thing.
And then on the opposite side, we hope to have a shelter that Moody and in turn Mildred can get up under.
Right. And we can put their hay in there. We just got a lot of things we can do this way.
Right.
All right.
Go look.
Let's go look. Battle this wind.
Mm.
Oh. We'll go ahead and grab the tape measure and some tape too. All right, so right here is where we're thinking, in this area right in here. You can see we just got so much space here. It goes all the way to that pine thicket over there. And then, of course, it goes all the way back that way. But there's the big oak tree that MaryCarl swing was in, or is in, when we first moved here. And this is what we're thinking about putting it, right here.
Look at that feed barrel rolling down the dam.
Oh gosh, there it goes.
It's going into the pond.
Oh gosh. There goes the lid too.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's rough. We got us a scrap metal pile there that we've collected off this property that we got to end up taking to a scrap metal place to recycle.
So I'm thinking that this will be a good central location for us to in turn fence this area for cows maybe.
Yeah.
This area for goats.
Yeah.
Maybe this back area for bucks.
Yep. Yeah, we've even discussed maybe incorporating the chicken coop in the barn some kind of way too, and moving our chickens over here as well.
So what are the dimensions we're thinking?
We're thinking 40 by 60 is the barn we're thinking. 40 foot wide, 60 foot long, with 12 foot lean-tos on each side, which, adding the leans will make it 64 by 60 once we add the lean-tos on it. And we're thinking that's probably overkill for us, but we'd rather have it too big than too small.
That's right.
And I'm sure we will use every inch of it.
I'm sure we will. And that was a lot of things that I read when we started talking about potentially building a barn, was there were so many comments that you need to go bigger than you think you need.
Right. All right, so we looked at trying to find the flattest area, so there'll be less site work for us to have to do, or Mr. Greg has to do. And so I think we've kind of found that. And we're gonna go ahead and mark this right there. Got yours marked? All right. You want to go 64 that way?
Yeah.
Okay. So we know this is not square, but
You don't think?
no, without a shadow of a doubt. Even when I try to square something up, I can't square it up. All right. But this gives us an idea.
Well, that's why we're not building it ourselves.
That's exactly why we're not building it ourselves. All right. 64. All right, there's 64. Right there. I'm gonna go in 12 foot and see what the actual barn's gonna look like. Let's see, where is 52? Is right there. So we know that's gonna be the actual barn. And that's gonna be the lean-to right there. And the same with Miss Brooke over there. All right, so now we wanna go this way, 60 foot. 60 foot, right? All right, keep going. Right there. All right, let's go from there to there. We may have to move that flag. I know we said we're not getting it square, but we'll at least halfway have it looking like something. Right there. All right. So now let's come in 12, which would be 52 right there. And 12 foot on yours would be right 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right there. All right. There we go. Gosh, that don't look like 12 foot on the ground, does it? But it is. Crazy how things fool you. Because that don't look like 12 foot. Looks like 8. But it's not. The tape don't lie.
Tape don't lie.
All right, so the lean-to will be from here to here, which is 12 foot. And then the barn would be from here to there, which is 40 foot.
Right.
And that's not, I don't think that'd be that much site work right here.
I hope not.
He would just push some dirt around and make it level.
Thinking about it before you laid it out,
Yeah,
it looked like it would be okay.
yeah, it
Until
would.
you squat it down and saw.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so if Mr. Greg gives us the okay, and this is like the spot we're gonna build it. You can see we got right here, that's where the barn starts and goes right to over here. And then that's the lean-tos right there that come off 12 foot off the barn. And then we plan on having pastures. We're gonna have a pasture all the way over here on this side, which will probably be the cows is what we're thinking. And then over here, we'll have pastures over here on this side, which will be the goats. Then we got kind of like a middle section back there that we can do something with. And that's where I'm thinking about making like a separation area in case we need to separate somebody. And if we decide to put some chickens over here or move the chickens over here and build a chicken coop off of the barn, we can put it on the back side of the barn, have a chicken yard, and then a separating area. So we got plenty of options here, but the separating area would have access to the barn in case we had to get a sick animal or if the vet came or whatever. If we're probably gonna get us a chute over there so we can, you know, if Moody needs stuff done, Mildred needs stuff done, we'll have that over there. And of course, we'll make a milking room in the barn. Also too, we're thinking about having, of course, a big door in the front and a big door in the back so we can drive the tractor through. It's just a lot of things we're wanting to do with the barn. And of course, where the lean-tos are, where the animals are gonna go, those will be separated by stalls as well that match up with the stalls inside of the barn. And also what the barn and all the separation with the stalls and all can do is that can allow us to mix more animals together. Like if we want to put Nugget in with the goats or with Moody and Mildred or whoever, we have that option now because we can feed them in the stalls. And then that way we don't have to worry about Nugget eating cattle feed, Moody eating Nugget feed, and that kind of thing. So that is, that's also an option that we have that we're probably gonna do once we get the barn built and all the fencing done.
You think we could start fencing before we build a barn?
If Mr. Greg helps me square it up and lay it out, sure. I don't see why not. I really don't. I really, really don't.
Because that's going to be a job, and I don't want to be in summertime putting fences up.
Yeah. Now, another thing that we've been discussing is the color of the barn. And I think we originally thought white to match the house. But then we started thinking that, well, maybe not. Maybe I'll do something different. And then I think we thought maybe a darker color.
Yeah.
Like a gray. And the black would be nice. But then we start worrying about
heat. Well, we're definitely going to do a galvalume roof, which is the color that's on our house now.
Right.
Which is just a metal color.
So I also like traditional red.
Yeah, I do too.
It's just, it reminds you of a barn, a red barn.
So I think it's safe to say that we've kind of ruled out white.
I think we kind of ruled out white. Maybe not, but that's what I want to get these guys' opinions on. What color barn do you think we should build? A white barn, a dark color barn like a black or a gray, or a red barn? Or another color that we ain't discussed, but I'm leaning toward red.
Are you?
Yeah, I really am. Either red, I don't know. I like the dark color too, but I'm worried about the heat of the dark color. So what color are you leaning towards?
My initial thought was white, and I've kind of checked that off just because the lean-tos on the side with the animals being up under it and rubbing on that white, I can just see it being brown in no time.
That's right. I didn't think about that, but you're right.
And that's why I was steering away from the white.
I got you.
It's because white on our house we can keep clean.
Yeah.
There's nothing rubbing up against it.
So you're thinking either dark, how do you feel about the red?
I'm not objected to it. I'm just thinking about the fading factor.
Yeah.
I don't want a pink barn.
No. And do we want a gray one? Will it fade?
Well, I don't think that it's gonna, if it fades, it's just gonna fade to lighter.
I got you.
If red fades, it's gonna fade to pink.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Maybe I should get some pieces of metal and hold them up out here.
Maybe we'll just start looking at colored barns on the internet and get some pictures and stuff that way. We got another decision we need to think about too.
What's that?
If all this comes together like we think it's going to, should we put Capri in with Joe and possibly let her get pregnant?
Well, of course you know what I think. Because if Brant gets the barn built in the month of February, if we bred those two right now, it would be May before she had a baby.
Right.
Hopefully between February and May we could have the barn finished.
Yeah.
And I can milk her.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to think about.
Got a lot to think about.
I say Capri, well, we say Capri because Fifi has Paris, which, I think she'd be fine without her mama.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't want her to see her mama in another pasture
Yeah.
and not be able to get to her.
Right.
So I think Capri would be the only one we would want to breed right now.
I think you're right.
So what do you think?
I think we'll probably do that pretty soon. We just got to get our ducks in a row and figure out how we'll get her over there, and hopefully that she'll learn the electric fence because she hasn't been in it yet.
No, she's never been in an electric fence, so that would be all new to her.
But But I mean, Joe and Topper learned it fairly quickly.
I don't think it'll be an issue. And if it were to be, I guess we just realized that now wasn't the time.
Right. Let's go see what that barrel looks like if we can get it out of the pond. That's gonna be easier than what I thought. Whew.